This is all you'll ever need. This one, 40-minute podcast, whatever it's been. This is all you've been searching for. This is it. If this is the last podcast you ever listen to, you're set for life. This is the key.
No one else is going to watch you and say, hey, doesn't seem like you're telling the truth. You got something to say? No one's going to do that. As much as we wish people would save us, no one's coming to save you but yourself.
From that place, you will create whatever you're meant to create in the world to make a long-lasting impact, and to do it joyfully, to do it from a place where every day feels like the best day ever.
It truly is like the magic bullet to when people ask us, how did you get where you are? It's these two things.
If you're seeing this right now and you are a man, I'm telling you, you're seeing this for a reason. To realize that all of your shortcomings, everything you want to be, that is subject to change when you optimize your life for love and fulfillment.
Welcome back to Listen Before Love. We are back again, baby.
Back at it.
How are you feeling?
I'm so excited. As always, I said every time.
As always, this man is so excited to be here. And we are back really enjoying our new series of question and answers from all the amazing people who watch our show and who send us all of their situations and questions. And today's special question that we are going to discuss is, does a relationship make me less productive? And I know you've got some thoughts on that, baby. And oh man, I cannot wait to dive in. I also want to shout out that there's a wave of tweets in the ether recently about how the hustle and grind bros really feel like they need to lock in and shut out women and not pay any attention to their relationship life so that they can climb to the top of grind set mountain and get that company going. And, oh, if I only get this amount of money, then I'll start talking to women again. And I see this philosophy so much right now, and I cannot wait to offer a different perspective through this beautiful man right here and through myself. So what do you think about that, baby?
I have so many opinions on this, and the grind set hustle bros are not going to like it.
Oh, gosh.
Oh, man. Okay, so there is this sentiment going around amongst multiple communities online where men that feel, let's say, immensely ambitious, that they have something they want to build, oftentimes it's around business or something else of that factor. There's this belief in their heads that women in their life, on their pursuit of more, oftentimes more money, more attention, whatever it is that they're trying to pursue, more excellence, that a woman is hindering their ability to do that. And I'm going to hit you with a curveball. They're right.
Oh,
Women are hindering their ability to be successful. They are hindering their ability to be productive. They are hindering their ability to have enough time and energy and resources in place to build what they want to build. And when I say that women are hindering that, what I mean by that is the type of women that they're used to, in the type of dating that they're used to. Those women, they are right, are stopping them from stepping in to a mode, if you want to call it that, monk mode, God mode. Some of you have the ignorance to say that, whatever it's going on, to hustle yourself to success, whatever it is. Oftentimes, people of that same mindset, of that same vibration, feeling as if they need to grind their teeth in, what's that expression, tooth and nail every single day, or whatever it is, to get to where they want to go. Those people, that same awareness level, the type of women you are dating, that is a distraction. Because the same mindset you have towards money and towards business of like, I got to get mine. I got to get it now. I got to. That's not only how you look at business. That mindset's how you look at life. So that's how you've been approaching and dating. So more than likely, you're scrolling through Tinder, you're scrolling through the apps, you're meeting women as if I got to get mine. I got to get laid. I got to do this. I gotta. It's me. Me. Fast now, I need it now, or else I am less of a person, less of a man. And it's not women that is the problem. It's not the fast pace, ever changing business field that's the problem for our lack of success. It's the mindset we currently have that's making everything out of reach. It's making everything feel like a hustle and a grind, and women are terrible. Women are useless. No. The type of women you are attracting with that mindset, you're right, aren't serving you because they're mirrors for who you are. If you are attracting women that are toxic, if you're attracting women that only want you for your money, only want you for what you have, you are attracting the women you deserve. Because if you haven't noticed, you're doing the exact same. So we can hate on it all we want, but you are attracting the same thing you are exuding. And that is not only happening in your love life, if you even want to call it that, more like the lust life, if you know what I mean, or business. What you're doing is you are continuing to sell yourself short, thinking short term for all these goals, all these aspirations. And it's having you not reach the level of success, not to reach the level of happiness and fulfillment that you know in your heart you're worthy of, but you're not allowing yourself to have. And so the way I used to date, of just trying to have a good time, just trying to have some fun, just trying to get laid, just trying to live that life, if I was in that mode, yes, you're right, women would be a distraction. But just as much as sports is, just as much as whatever other hobby you have is, it is a distraction. It's oftentimes a coping mechanism from you stopping yourself from stepping into a higher version of yourself. Oftentimes, and I was in this myself, and I know that most men are in this right now, it's this loop of habits and behaviors that are all short term. Their job or their employment or their whatever it is just enough to get through the month, just enough to get through the year. It's good enough for now. No real long-term thinking involved within it. It's some short-term cash, short-term opportunity that won't lead to an everlasting success. The women thereafter is for short-term gains. It's for that one-night stand. It's for just a nice little fling for a week or two, whatever that is. Everything they do, everyone they come in contact with, they're thinking short-term and thinking, I need something now. I need it. That's the energy. That's the energy that they give off to women. It's energy they give off to business people, others that want to transact business with them. And you're going to attract subpar people because of that. You're also going to attract women. They're like, I need attention. I need a guy to tell me I'm pretty. I need it, which are the same type of women that are the distractions. It's the same type of business partners, same type of clients that suck, that are terrible to do business with. You're giving off a vibration, you're giving off a mindset that is leading to falling short in everything. And I knew this to be true. And it just felt right to me. That's what allowed me to propel myself out of that state of being, that mode, that mindset that so many men are in. And then after meeting you, I realized, oh yeah, that's all bullshit. Because when you're with the right woman, and part of what it takes to understand that you are now with the right woman is to know that that woman is giving you more ambition, is giving you more energy to pour into your mission, to pour into your purpose. Because I know that with you in my corner now, I feel more fuel than ever to make those businesses, to get in better shape, to rewire my mindset so that I'm thinking more long-term, not only for you, but for our family. what type of home we're going to have. Not just the house and how many bedrooms and all that, not just the cars in the driveway, but how do I want my home to feel? How do I want to feel when I'm resting with my kids, with my wife, with my hopeful dogs, whatever it is? What can I do now to think long term to create that reality? And so what you're actually struggling with is short-term thinking. And that's why your business success feels like it's being capped. Where some of you have started many businesses, started many side products, and a lot of them failed. That's like what happened for me for a long period of time. And then some of them have a little bit of success. You're making a few grand a month to support yourself, whatever it is. But you also kind of know there's a ceiling to that too. You have ambitions. You see this one guy online who's making $3 million a year from it. They're like, oh, I can do it. I can. But there's a party that kind of knows, this ain't right. This ain't it. But what's keeping you trying to grab for that real quick, that nugget, that carrot, that cookie, whatever it is, in business, the same thing that you are doing for every aspect of life, and that's why you're falling short of what you know you're capable of being. And so it took me realizing that for myself and looking in the mirror to realize, oh, women aren't the problem. The ever-evolving businesses, now AI's taken over what I was doing, that's not the problem. All those other things aren't the problem. It's myself that's the problem. And if I'm really that him that y'all call yourself, if you're really him, you'd be able to balance all of it. You're able to think enough long term while treating people as if it's the last time you'll ever see them, leaving an impression on them of love, of light, of care that makes every person you come in contact with, whether it's people you date or business partners, clients, family members, whatever it is, you leave an imprint on them that they will never forget, that they'll always cherish. And then you think long term of what actions can I do today for myself, for my body, for my business, for my family, for my friends, for everyone I care about, my clients, my business partners. What can I do today that will make it fruitful 20 years from now? That will make it fruitful a day in the future that I cannot even imagine yet. And what I realized is building towards a better tomorrow gives me more joy and fulfillment and success in the present moment, right now, than I ever received playing a short-term game of let me make this month better, let me make this 3 months better, or maybe make this today better. And so it's not the women holding you back, it's you. The right women, the right single person, not plethora of women that you have messages and one. No. The single person that you're meant to be with, you will know that they're your person partially because they make you more ambitious. They make you want to serve the world more, be a better version of yourself. But because the mindset y'all have, you're not allowing yourself to think bigger than what you're currently doing. And when you're not thinking bigger of what you're currently doing, you're not acting bigger. You're not following through in your word. You're not integrating. You're not embodying the person you know you're capable of being. And therefore, that's why you're having trouble finding high quality women. There are plenty of good women out there. Case in point. And she's building an entire community full of them. They're out there. You just don't yet have the eyes to see it because you haven't woken up to your own reality. And while also waking up to your own reality of why all these things are falling short, you realize, oh my gosh, it has been me the whole time. I've been the problem the whole time. Oh wait, it's not society. It's not that they're printing money. It's not the food's poison. It's not, no. That's happening, yes. But also, you're the problem. And also the solution. I don't mean to talk directly at you. I'm not trying to put that on you. You know what I'm saying? I see you trying to hold it in like,
You're cooking so hard.
But I'm just saying, all the excuses you have for why you aren't successful, for what you got to cut out next in your life is all bullshit. The only thing you got to cut out is the belief system that you have in place that something external is hindering you from being who you want to be. That something external is creating a roadblock from you to do what you want to do with your life. Just freaking do it. Just do it. You know it must be done. Success, happiness is actually incredibly easy. If you look at it in a mechanical lens, what it takes to run a successful business, what it takes to have a great body, what it takes to be a loving person. It's actually fantastically easy. We all know it. But it's our emotions that we allow to get into play that stops us from seeing it as this black and white, crystal clear path towards whatever we want in life. So I say all that because what I'm seeing nowadays, what's being pushed upon us, let's get that clear, it's being pushed upon us, is a reality which we're kind of throwing up our hands like, hey, it's hard out here, no good women anymore, things are getting more expensive, whatever it is. Who is that serving? You're playing into why they're setting things up this way. And whoever they are doesn't even matter because you have the solution. You are the solution. And then you can build yourself into the person with daily habits that build you into the person you know you're capable of being. And along that journey, the right people, the right clients, business partners, and jobs, if that's what you're doing, family members will step up, friends will step up, or new ones will come in. And then inevitably, the right romantic lover, woman, will come in your life and be nothing but a beacon of hope and light. Nothing but a springboard to more success, more happiness, and more fulfillment. Another thing I want to talk about is, of course, productivity is one thing, ambition's one thing, but I hear a lot about, ever since I started dating women, I want different things from life. I no longer want to be a billionaire. Of course, as you increase the capacity of love in your life by having a lover, you realize that all the ambitions and goals you had were based on a lack of love in your life, was based upon fear, was based upon not feeling enough, not feeling as if you being you is worthy. And so now that a certain person, whether it's a lover or a family member that steps up or just a good friend, now that you feel more love for yourself because others are exuding it to you, you have less rage fuel to become a billionaire, to become, world famous athlete and movie star or whatever else you want to be. I hate to break it to you, but a lot of the people at quote unquote the top of society is broken because the fuel source they drove upon every day to get there was fear, was anger, was hatred, was I better show them, I gotta show them, I'm worthy, see, I'm worthy, I'm enough. You shouldn't have picked on me in high school. You shouldn't have done that to me. You shouldn't have said that thing at the Thanksgiving. You shouldn't have done that. All these things fueled them to get there where they are. And then they get there and they realize, oh, I'm still empty inside. If you're seeing this right now and you are a man, I'm telling you, you're seeing this for a reason, to realize that all of your shortcomings, everything you want to be, that is subject to change when you optimize your life for love and fulfillment. Because the fuel you've been burning your entire life, that very inefficient fuel source, let's call it coal, let's call it gas, whatever it is, when you increase the love in your life, that fuel source becomes nuclear energy, becomes vibranium like in the Marvel Avengers, and you now have this infinite amount of energy. Literally every single day you jump out of bed because the amount of love you have pouring into you that gives you all the energy needed to actually build what you're meant to build, and not from a place of fear. That is how we have the systems that we do in society that we so desperately know we got to tear down, because those were built from a place of fear. Those are built from a place of lack and scarcity. But when you allow yourself to be filled up with love, because you exude that to others first and they attract you the same level of love you have for yourself. Once you have more love in this gas tank, you have an infinite amount of fuel to create lovingly whatever this world needs. And then the art, the businesses, the communities, the systems, the entire industries that are meant to take place will, because you're getting it from the right fuel source. And you'll be thinking long-term, because it's not about the short-term results. It's about the long-term impact for yourself, your family, your community, and the entire globe within itself. And so if you want more fuel, I'm saying this firsthand, as you can feel it with my words, the abundance of everything you're looking for is on the other side of giving yourself the love that your entire life you've been seeking. Your entire life someone has withheld from you. I'm here to tell you that it's been within you the entire time. It's now time to finally awaken that. And in the process of loving yourself more, and in the process of understanding that you are worthy of high value women because you're building yourself in a high value man every single day, you will attract that. You will attract only high value people in your life, and then you'll have infinite energy. You'll have a legit mastermind, a group of people coming together to build a better tomorrow. And I understand where you're at because I was there for so long. But on the other side of this, on the other side of just loving oneself, having balance in life, where you don't feel any certain way about taking an off day and taking a rest day and just napping all day, or just watching the basketball and football game and just doing that with no expectation of I should be doing this, I could be doing that, what, I need to get out of bed, I'm lazy. All that voice in your head just stops. And you have all the fuel you need to build whatever's meant to be built, to create whatever meant to be created. And now, as I'm living it, leading by example, I have more free time than ever, more rest time than ever. I spend more quality time on the couch. Oftentimes, take an edible, take some wheat, have some drinks, pizza, play more. I never played more video games in my life, but it's all come from a place of love. And simultaneously, I'm building these systems, the communities, the businesses that will make me wealthier than I ever could have imagined, that are beginning to make me wealthier than I ever could have imagined. And that's happening because I love myself fully. And in those moments of taking an edible, eating some pizza, playing NBA 2K, kicking some kid's ass from India on the video games, that's when the idea, the $1 billion business idea comes to my head. And that's when I know it's coming from a place of all love. It's come from a place of all knowing that the world's a better place with this. And I have everything I could ever want and need, the people, opportunities, everything to make it happen. And it's almost as if it's already happened. It's inevitable. And I know that if every man did this, where they found a way to sprinkle more love into life and less fear, and less I got to, I need to, I should to, and more, everything is okay. I'm already at peace. What I want to do now. From that place, you will create whatever you're meant to create in the world to make a long-lasting impact, and to do it joyfully, to do it from a place where every day feels like the best day ever. Every day is enjoyable. This is what all the people you deeply look up to are talking about. This is all Naval Ravikant talks about. This is all Rick Rubin talks about. Many billionaires have been onto this game for a very long time and doing very impactful things. And you know who's understanding this concept and who's not by what they've created. The businesses you come in contact with, you can feel the love within. You could feel like, oh my gosh, this is a net positive for humanity. Those people were building with this mindset, with this vibration. But for everything else that you see as negative for the world, a net negative for humanity, the way the monetary system being made, the way the food system, the pharmaceutical system, whatever is going on, that's made from the other side. That's made off the fuel that you're currently running. Where is that getting us? And so I bring it back. Oh, excuse me. I was holding that microphone and twisted a little bit. I bring it back to the point that if you believe that women are the thing stopping you from doing what you know you're capable of doing, it's time to realize that you've just been lying to yourself, or that society has been lying to you to coerce you into believing that. And it's time to take back our power. Understand that if we want to, every single person that comes in your life can be a net positive for your life. And the moment you believe that's possible is the moment reality will show it to be true. And literally within a year, I was able to go from thinking exactly how you think in all aspects of life to now living a life where I have everyone I could ever want. Everyone in my life wanting what's best for me, willing to pour into me whatever it takes for my success, for my happiness, my fulfillment, where business partners were opportunities, where those $1 million ideas just come to me as I'm relaxing, cuddling with her. Because I'm no longer operating on a fuel source that doesn't serve me. And if you're watching this, it's your sign to make that change too. So I don't think you were expecting that when you asked me that question, but that's what you got.
Someone cooked here. You ready to take off the Iron Chef apron? Nope, because I got more questions.
Oh,
all right, so listen here, Mr. Man. All right, let's say that you got someone's goat. You were just talking straight to somebody listening to this. Where do they start? If they just resonated what you just said deep in their bones and they say, oh my God, that's me and I don't want this to be me. I want to actually live the life that you talked about. Where do they start? Yeah,
so what you've been a victim of, and I don't use that term lightly, I use it exactly where it's meant to be used. The reason for you feeling the way you feel right now is because the matrix. You're in the matrix. If you believe fear, grinding your way to success, happiness, whatever it is taking place, you're in the matrix. I know it's hard to see when you're in it, but trust me with this. And the way out is very, very simple. It's the one thing that society has coerced you into no longer being able to do, and that is solitude. That is sitting with yourself and your own thoughts and feelings. And that can be very scary because what can come up when you sit with yourself is all the unresolved experiences and emotions you've had your entire life that you've been too distracted to actually finally feel. But for those that have enough courage to actually look reality in the mirror and simply sit in one place and do nothing. If you want to do it outside, if you want to do it in the sun, great, that's ideal. But if you just want to do it in your bedroom alone, you can. And just sit. And naturally, the areas of unfreedom and naturally that voice that's down underneath, that's kind of the bullshit meter that knows you've been lying to yourself, that knows that something ain't right, that voice will begin to get louder and louder. And at first, it may sound threatening because it's threatening the way of life. It's threatening your current mindset. But I promise you, it's not threatening, it's empowering. Because that voice will slowly and surely, incrementally, and then substantially remove you from the programming, the victim programming you've been given in the matrix. And that may cause you to be angry, that may cause you to be sad, that may cause you to cry, that may cause you to be joyful, whatever it is. I ask that you give yourself the grace and not judge yourself for whatever comes up in those moments of solitude. And the less you judge, the more you allow yourself to think and feel whatever needs to be felt, you will then be given direction from that gut feeling, that thing we've been burying down with the food we eat, with the distractions we have and everything else in life. That voice will get bigger again. This is how I did it. And I just listen to that voice. I follow that voice. When it tells me to start acting a different way around people that I love, to start treating them more kindly, to stand up for myself in areas where I'm lacking in integrity or I'm being taken advantage of, to speak my truth, and to have the audacity to dream for a better tomorrow. That gut feeling, that voice in your head will guide you where you need to go. And that's what will make it fun, because you don't have to overthink everything, the next step on how I'm going to build this or how I'm going to do that, how I'm going to find this person. It's all handled. It's all handled. The next chapter of life begins with trust. Trusting that voice. Me trusting that voice is what had me leave my apartment on the middle of a Monday afternoon to walk down to the yoga studio at a random time I'd never been to before and walk in a room where she was. And she's been by far the most dramatic change in my life, the most positive change in my life I've ever had. And that happened because I allowed that feeling to be felt. I allowed myself to follow it. And I could have overthought it in the moment. I could think, oh, I'm on a call right now. I can't end it in the sky, or I'm writing this, or I got to write this email real quick. Put that aside and follow that feeling and trust that everything will work out for you. That is the way through the matrix. That's what Neo was trying to tell everyone in the movie. It's a documentary, not a movie. And that's what I'm here to tell you now. And so the path to the life that you want starts right now. It starts right now. And it starts by you getting quiet, you getting silent, and you sitting alone with your own thoughts and feelings without judgment, and then listening. And I guarantee, I'm not saying you're going to become a billionaire. I'm not saying you're going to have the fancy car. I'm not saying you're going to this, is and that. But I promise you, that voice will lead you to a happy, fulfilling, energetic, filled life. The one that you're meant to live, not the one society tells you to live, the one you're meant to live. And for some of you, that means big businesses and all these great things. And for some of you, not. But it's okay. Because it'll be perfect exactly how it is. And it'll feel right to you. And so it's very, very simple. It's just reconnecting with what it's like to be human. That's why it's so simple. And so simply just letting all the worldly things, pushing those away temporarily, and allowing yourself to just sit there, we learn to become human again. And so giving ourselves a space to hear that voice and then following that voice is the way through.
If solitude is level 1, what's level 2?
Level 2 is telling the truth. Level 2 is acting upon the solitude and what it tells us. So there's going to be times where we realize when we sit down by ourselves that the world we live in, the world that's been created for us, there's a lot of discrepancies. There's a lot of things that don't make sense. There's a lot of mindless behavior that is no longer mindless. That unconscious behavior becomes conscious. And it's being able to tell ourselves the truth, and oftentimes telling others the truth based upon what we're experiencing and what we're feeling. And by telling yourself the truth, it's like, oh, I actually don't want to work here. I don't actually want to live this way. I actually don't want that in life. I actually did lie to that person. I actually was a terrible boyfriend. I wasn't the best friend there. I wasn't all these things. It's being truthful to yourself about your own behavior so far and being truthful about what you want in the future. What feels right? What is that voice saying? And so I know with level 1, the voice will become clear of what's next. And it always leads to telling the truth, because truth is the path to a more aligned life. And that's what we're really all after, an aligned life, full of more love and embodiment. More love also means more freedom.
How do you start telling the truth when you don't have the muscle memory for it?
You and I have talked about this a lot recently, and I think it starts with little things, right? You mentioned this is 100% your idea, but if you're at the coffee shop and you order a iced latte, but when the coffee arrives, it's a chai latte, or it's just a plain black coffee, it's finding a way to tell that barista respectfully and lovingly the truth. Like, hey, I really appreciate how hard y'all working. I believe I ordered the iced latte. Is it right? If I get an iced latte, I got a black coffee and says, can you guys change it out for me real quick? Oh yeah, sure. Of course, no problem. It starts with stuff like that. Little things where we respectfully resist. That we don't just take what's ever dealt to us. And I know this coffee example is silly and small, but that's exactly it. It's silly and small. It's showing ourselves that even in the incremental ways we can stand up for ourselves, we can tell the truth, we can speak our deepest desires. And then from there, it'll go on to other things. And again, all this stuff we don't have to overthink. The voice in our head will tell us what to do. the voice from our gut, from our body, our intuition, whatever you want to call it. That voice will tell us kind of the next level of truth to get. It walks you through the levels of life. And oftentimes the higher levels are conversations with people that have had significant impacts in their life, with your father, with your mother, with the ex-girlfriend, the ex-boy, whatever's going on. They're the deeper ones, the harder ones, oftentimes the ones we've been avoiding. But we don't need to worry about that right now. We don't need to focus on that now. There's nothing to worry about. It's just starting incrementally. And it will build you up enough confidence and conviction so that the bigger areas of unfreedom that exist will have all the fuel and experience we need to tell the truth there and be fully free from everyone and everything and return back to nothing but love for ourselves and others.
It's funny because we've been talking about this idea of how do you build trust in yourself, which is exactly what Cam is talking about. But the coffee example is a huge deal to some people. Like, I recently read the story about a woman who went to this coffee shop, they got her order wrong, and she was so anxious about it. She went home, changed her clothes, put a hat on as a disguise to get another coffee as an entirely different person. And the barista literally called her out on it and said, "Hey, weren't you here an hour ago? Why did you put on a disguise?" Because she was that afraid to tell the truth.
Yeah. And I can guarantee you that same person probably is being severely underpaid and appreciated at their job, but they refuse to say anything about it because they're scared of what people may say when they speak the truth.
Exactly.
And there's probably some other type of abuse, other type of way in life that's currently not going their way. But because they do not have the confidence yet to speak their truth, they suffer. They feel unfree.
That's so true. And I was having a conversation on the most recent walk with two people who were asking me, how do you just tell people that you want to leave a conversation in a way that feels peaceful and it feels like it's not a big deal? And I gave them an example, and I gave them the script I usually say, which is, "It was great talking to you, but I'm going to float away now like a fairy." And both of them just said, "How do you have the words? I just can't find the words like you can." And that's not true. Everyone has the words, but not everyone practices speaking them. That's the difference between me and Cam as people who tell the truth often and people who their throat closes and their heart starts racing and they get really afraid, which, by the way, I'm still that person sometimes too. Happened just the other day, believe it or not. They get really afraid to speak, so they say nothing. So they swallow the words, so they hold the truth within themselves. And then the truth doesn't just dissolve, it builds up. Your unspoken truth builds up and up and up and up like an unfelt emotion, unfelt wave. And usually what happens here, if you don't tell the truth in low stakes moments, is that truth will bubble up and explode from you in a time that the other person who's on the receiving end is not going to expect. This is what happens when, let's say, you're with a partner or a friend or a colleague, and you have been holding in a truth of how they're making you feel for so long that one little thing they do, whether it's they didn't take out the trash or they didn't follow through on this small thing they said they were going to do for you, in that moment, you explode with wrath and rage and this bubbling anger. Why is that? It happens because you're not telling the small truths. And if you're not telling the small truths, you're not telling the medium truths, then you're not telling the big truths. And you're putting it all down in the trash chute, saying, "No, I'm just going to keep stuffing it down, stuffing it down, stuffing it down, stuffing it down," explode like a jack in the box. But it doesn't have to be that way. And if you are this person we're talking to, we used to be this person, you can change this right now. Like what Cam was saying earlier, you can decide, this is my sign. These people are speaking right to my soul, that I am the creator of my reality, and I can choose to be someone who spends 30 to 60 minutes alone in solitude per day to hear my own voice, to hear my intuition speaking to me and trusting that it has all the right moves. As long as I just keep taking the next obvious and exciting step, I know exactly what to do because I allow myself the space to hear it. And then you can move on to level 2, which is to tell the truth. And how do you start that? After you create the space to hear your internal truth, now you practice speaking it. You go to the coffee shop. You make sure that you're not the one who's putting on a disguise because they got your order wrong. And you're saying these small truths. You're interrupting your own patterns of swallowing your words, of swallowing your truth. Only you can do that. No one else is going to watch you and say, hey, doesn't seem like you're telling the truth. You got something to say? No one's going to do that. As much as we wish people would save us, no one's coming to save you but yourself. And if you just listen to what we're saying as a rally call, tomorrow can look very different. Tomorrow can be the start of a new chapter. One where you wake up every day knowing yourself a little bit more deeply, hearing the voice within you in the silence you create, and building your muscle for telling the truth in small, then medium, then big moments. You follow those 2 steps, solitude, tell the truth, your life changes. In a month, in 3 months, in a year, you're a completely different person who has such a firm and resolute idea of who they are that you wake up every day with an enormous amount of clarity on what's next for me, what's the next step. Oh, here's the business idea that's going to change my life. Here's the romantic partner who's going to change my life because I walked into a random place and met them. All of it will start happening for you. People ask, what's the magic? What's the secret sauce? This is it. And you don't have to pay for it. Just listen to this right here. This is the best advice you'll get in the world, is spend time with yourself and tell the truth. It's the 1-2 punch of freedom.
This is all you'll ever need. This one, 40-minute podcast, whatever it's been. This is all you've been searching for. This is it. If this is the last podcast you ever listen to, you're set for life. This is the key. And all of the situations, all of the conversations that we have on this podcast and every other one we have going forward is going to happen because of people's inability to do what we just said. Because if you do what we just said, you wouldn't really have any questions. You already know the answer. And we love you exactly how you are at this moment. We're not here to judge you for your current situation. We were once there, and not that long ago. Most of humanity is still there. But it's time for a change, and you know it. And we are here to guide you on that change. We've healed ourselves, and now it's time to help heal the world. But we can't do anything. Only you can. We can just give you the space and the tools. But that's your journey. And we're going to do it with just big smiles on our face and just enjoying every moment.
Oh, we can't wait.
Yeah.
Oh,
what an episode.
What an episode. Thank you, baby, for sharing so beautifully. That was magnificent.
I don't know if you'd call that a enlightenment or matrix rant, whatever that was. That was something out there. And maybe different direction than what we were thinking. But of course, it was all in perfect timing and everything just happened perfectly. So if you pressed play on this podcast, I want you to know that that happened for a reason. This isn't just some random coincidence. It's a synchronicity taking place. This is a message you're ready to hear. And not all of it will resonate at this moment, more than likely, but over time it will. Listen to this again in 3 months from now, a year from now, and more of it will make sense and resonate. And we're just grateful to have your attention be on us at this moment so we can share this. And we're just grateful for the incredible opportunity we have to to guide people through this in this lifetime.
That's amazing. And really let this sink in. Take some time for yourself after listening to this. Maybe even start your solitude journey right after this podcast. Go on a nice walk by yourself with no headphones. Sit in a room with no distractions for 30 minutes. Ease your way into it. Dip your toe into the jacuzzi of freedom and inner knowing. And I promise you, after walking this path, this is the answer. And if you follow your own voice that you find in solitude and you build your muscle of telling the truth, the right people, opportunities, and resources will come to you effortlessly. It truly is like the magic bullet to when people ask us, how did you get where you are? It's these two things, plus a couple of others that we could dive into. But these two foundational things, changes that require your active presence, your active demand placed on the universe. Like, I am ready. When you start this journey, you're saying, I am ready, and things will start moving for you. Not to you, but for you. And oh man, I cannot wait. This is going to be so amazing, baby. Thank you, y'all, for watching this beautiful episode. What a beautiful twist and turn journey we went on that one. You surprised me so much on this one, baby.
Really amazing.
From your very first answer, I usually know what he's going to say, and I had no idea.
I had you cooking with women are the problem.
You had me sacked. I had to close my eyes and just soak in that truth on this one.
Thank you for strapping in for the roller coaster.
That was beautiful. I just want to thank you for being here, and we cannot wait to see you next week. We love you, we love you, we love you, and have a great rest of your day.
Love y'all.
Love y'all. Bye. Thank you for watching that beautiful episode. We hope it really resonated and hit you somewhere deep in the soul. I know I was feeling that one every step of the way. We just want to thank you for being here. If you have a second and you can rate our show, give us a thumbs up, drop us a comment, even if it's a single emoji. It really helps our show grow and reach more amazing people like you. We also want to share some very, very exciting news. We have had folks who really want more of the energy, want to work with us in some way, but they don't have 5 stacks to drop on our one-on-one work. So we opened up a beautiful paid community for women and also for men when it comes to becoming the best version of yourself in romance and just life as a whole. So if you are interested in those communities, it's only $55 a month, and I promise you it will be the most soul-nourishing $55 you spend all month and also every month. So if you want to join us, please hit the link below. We love to see you in there.
Appreciate y'all joining us today. Retweet everything she just said. She said it perfectly. And just very grateful that you took the time to watch this video. It all happens for a reason. So thank you.
Thank y'all. We love you guys.
Love y'all.
See you next week. Bye-bye.